So now we will see form in HTML. So guys, basically an HTML form is used to collect user input, and we are going to check this with the help of examples as well in VS Code. The user input is often sent to a server for processing. So guys, basically we are going to see the form example with the text input and a submit button along with the labels. So guys, let us move to the VS Code over here. So in the body tag, what we are going to do is we are going to define the form, and before that we are going to have the paragraph tag, and then we will say below content is in form. We will have the form tag over here. So as you can see, we have the starting form tag, and by default we have something called as action attribute. Now guys, inside this action attribute, the value can be the name of the file where the user input will be delivered so that further processing can be done. So guys, we are not going to provide any value for now over here because this is required when we are going to do some server side processing over here. Now guys, inside this form tag, first of all we are going to have the label that will define what input the user is expected to provide. So basically we are going to ask the user for first name over here. So guys, this is nothing but a simple text that will be displayed on the browser. So first name followed by a colon in this case. This for attribute is present by default, and I am going to explain you what value should come inside the for attribute in some time. So guys, basically this is just a label that we have defined. Now let me just save this file now and show you how it looks on the browser. So when we reload this page, as you can see, below content is in form, and we are getting the label that is first name over here. This is a simple text that we have defined. Now guys, we want a text box over here so that the user can provide his or her first name in the text box. So what we can do is, after this label, we need to provide the BR tag over here so that the text field comes on the next line, because the label tag is the inline element that we have defined. So after this we come on the next line and then we say input. And guys, there are many types of input over here. You can provide the button input or the checkbox or color or date or date time as well. We have email input as well. So in this case we are looking for something called as text input. So as you can see, input followed by colon, and then we have something called as text over here, which is the type attribute of the input tag. So as you can see, this is the type attribute for which the value is assigned as text over here, and this will help us to provide the text box so that the user can provide its input in the field. Now guys, this name attribute will be used when we submit this particular form and the content goes to the server on the file that will be referenced by the action attribute over here. So we can give certain name to this particular input. So we can simply provide f name over here, and the next attribute, that is ID, we can simply provide it as first name in this case. So guys, basically we are having the name as f name, and by this f name, this particular input field value will be referred by the server side script, and then apart from that we also have the ID over here, that is the first name. Now guys, let me just save this file now and try reloading this page once again on the browser. So as you can see, now we are having a text box over here that will allow the user to provide the input inside the text box in this case. Now guys, what is the importance of this for attribute over here? So basically inside the label tag we have the for attribute so that the user can simply click on this first name. So what will happen is, the ID of the input tag that will be provided inside this for attribute will be activated. So guys, for now if I show you, when we click on this first name, nothing is happening over here. As you can see, the cursor is not coming over here by default inside the text box. So what we can do is, we can provide the ID of this text box, that is first name over here. I'll simply copy this and paste it inside the value for this for attribute in this case. Now let us save this file now and try reloading this page once again on the browser. And now if we try to click on this first name, the cursor should automatically be activated inside this input field. So guys, let me just click over here. So as you can see, after clicking, the cursor is activated over here, and then we can simply provide the data inside the first name input field. So guys, this is the importance of this for attribute that helps us to attach, that is to bind to a particular input field over here. Now guys, similarly we will have another label for last name as well. So what we can do is, again we can provide the BR tag so that the last name can be displayed after this input text box over here, and then simply I'll copy these lines of code and then paste it over here, and simply we will give the ID as the last name in this case, the name will be L name over here, and then again we will give the ID as last name over here, so that the user can simply click on this last name label so that the cursor is activated on the last name text box. So let me just save this file now and try reloading this page once again on the browser. So as you can see, we are getting the last name text box as well. Over here we have repeated the labels, so I'll just correct it quickly. So as you can see now, we have the first name and last name over here. Now guys, simply we can have the submit button as well. So what we can do is, after this we can simply have the input tag once again, and this time we will have the submit button. So as you can see, input colon submit, this is the Emmet abbreviation, that is the feature provided by the VS Code over here. And if you are working on simple notepad, you can simply type this input tag and then followed by the space character, and then we have something called as type attribute, which should be equal to the submit value over here. And then guys, what value we want the submit button to be displayed? So over here we can simply provide the string, that is submit over here. So this particular text will be displayed on the button. So let me just save this file now and try reloading this page once again on the browser. So as you can see, submit button is being displayed over here. Guys, you can have any text over here in this case. So submit 1 is the value. So basically the string will be updated over here on the submit button. So as you can see, submit 1 is being displayed right now. So whatever value you want to have for your submit button, you can assign it using the value attribute. Guys, we will add one more BR tag over here so that it looks more decent. So as you can see, submit button is being separated with 2 BR tags over here. So this is a very basic form that we have created for now. Basically the user will be able to provide the first name and the last name and then click on the submit. So what will happen is, the file name that is provided inside the action attribute over here will be called, and along with that the file can access this first name and last name values that is provided by the user. And guys, this is the main purpose of using forms in HTML. We can also provide certain styling to this form. So let's say we want this form to be at the center of this page. So what we can do is, we can come to this head element and then we can provide the style tag over here. So basically we are going to provide the form tag, and then we can simply use the text align property, and then we can use the value as center over here so that the form can be aligned to the center of the page. Let me just save this file now and try reloading this page once again on the browser. So as you can see, the form is being center aligned over here, and we can also provide the border as well. So let's say we provide the border and it is going to be 2 pixels over here, which is of the type solid. And then let's say we provide the color of the border as red in this case. Let me just save this file now and try reloading this page once again on the browser. So as you can see, the border of this form is being given, and it is a 2 pixels border with a red border color over here. It is not looking that attractive, but guys, this is the basic knowledge that you should know about the forms over here in HTML. Now guys, apart from this, we also have the other input types. So for now we have checked the type, that is text over here, which only displays a single line text input field. We also have something called as radio, which helps us to display the radio button, which can be used for selecting one of the many choices. And then we also have checkbox, which displays a checkbox for selecting 0 or more number of choices. And then we have also seen the submit, that will help us in order to show the submit button, which is used to submit the form. And then we also have something called as the button, similar to submit, but in this case by default the button will not call the server side script that is provided in the actions. So guys, that is the main difference between the submit and button type over here. So it basically displays the clickable button. So guys, all these we are going to learn in the upcoming videos as well. So comment in the comment section below whether you have learned something out of this video. Please make sure that you like this video so that it reaches to more people, and subscribe to this channel so that you get the notifications on upcoming videos as well. The next video that we are going to talk about is form attributes in HTML. So stay tuned.